everybody. NHL training camp is officially underway for all 31 NHL teams now, and we're just a little over a week away from the start of the NHL season. I am getting really excited as we get closer to hockey, and today I want to take a look at players who are in NHL training camps on PTOs or professional tryouts. These are guys who do not have a contract but are getting a tryout with the team. Some of them are AHL guys who are signed to AHL contracts who had to sign PTOs to attend camp. And some of them are free agents who are legitimately trying to earn a job and a contract with their performance in training camp this year. So what I'm going to do is break it down by division, team by team, and just let you guys know who's there on a PTO, who has a chance to win a contract, and take a look at some of these different players. So let's start in the North Division here. The Calgary Flames have two players in on PTOs, goaltender Garrett Sparks and defenseman Michael Stone. The Edmonton Oilers have a couple players as well, forward Devin Shore and defenseman Ryan Stanton. The Montreal Canadiens do not have any PTO players this training camp. The Ottawa Senators have goaltender Francois Brassard. The Toronto Maple Leafs have a bunch of AHL guys, Justin Brazeau, Rourke Chartier, Tyler Gaudette, and Scott Sabourin are all in camp on PTOs, but none of them have a real chance, most likely, to make the NHL roster. They are signed to AHL contracts, but to be able to attend training camp, they needed to sign a PTO and get some sort of NHL deal, but they're very unlikely to be seen at the NHL level. Now, someone who is going to be playing at the NHL level is Travis Hammonic with the Vancouver Canucks. Hammonic is in camp on a PTO only because the Canucks cannot sign him until the start of the regular season when Michael Furland is put on long-term injured reserve, and then they'll have enough cap space to sign Hammonic. So I believe the Hammonic situation is very similar to the Mike Hoffman situation in St. Louis, which we'll talk about when we get to the West. Hammonic has a deal in place and is going to be a Vancouver Canuck. They just can't officially sign it until Furland is placed on LTIR. And so for him to be able to attend training camp, they have to have him on a PTO for right now until the beginning of the season when Furland's placed on injured reserve. The Winnipeg Jets, they've got three guys in camp. Veteran forward Trevor Lewis, defenseman Jimmy O'Ligney, and goaltender Cole Keller, all in training camp on PTOs this season, or for this training camp. Next up, we're going to move over to the East Division now, where you see quite a few teams in the East do not have PTO players. Boston, New Jersey, New York, and Philadelphia all do not have anyone in their training camps right now on PTOs. Now, they could potentially add someone as we get later into camp, but with the season about a week away, I think late additions on PTOs are a little less likely than in a normal year. But Riley Sheehan got a PTO with the Buffalo Sabres, so he's in their camp trying to earn a contract. Jordan Nolan has an AHL deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and if he plays well in camp, could potentially get that bumped up to an NHL deal as well, but he is a forward in Penguins camp. And goaltender Craig Anderson is in Washington Capitals camp. Obviously, very unfortunate what's happened with Henrik Lundqvist, but with Lundqvist out that for the season, that has left a gaping hole in the goaltending department for the Capitals. They're looking for a veteran backup to go along with Ilya Samsonov, and Anderson is a guy who could potentially win a job if he plays well in training camp. The Central Division, we have no one in camp on a PTO for the Carolina Hurricanes or the Chicago Blackhawks. Michael Delzado is in Columbus Blue Jackets training camp on a PTO trying to earn a job. He's played for John Tortorella before with the New York Rangers and kind of has a rapport and a relationship with their coach, so kind of makes sense that they would give him a look. Dallas has nobody in camp on a PTO. Detroit has veteran minor league goaltender Pat Nagel in goal on a PTO, in camp playing goalie on a PTO, but unlikely that he would secure an NHL contract, but very possible he stays with the Grand Rapids Griffins of the AHL. Florida has defenseman Kevin Connaughton and goaltender Scott Darling, both in on PTOs. Nashville brings back Yannick Weber on a PTO. He's been a depth guy for the Preds for the last few years. And the Tampa Bay Lightning have former Rangers forward Boo Nieves in on a PTO as well, seeing if he can earn a contract with the Lightning. And finally, that brings us to the West Division, where the Anaheim Ducks do not have anyone, but the Arizona Coyotes have 3 players in on PTOs in their camp this year. Forward Frederick Gauthier, D. Jordan Schmaltz, and goaltender Zane McIntyre, all trying to earn contracts either at the AHL or NHL level with Arizona. The Colorado Avalanche have a couple of defensemen, Peter Tischke and Keaton Middleton, are in their camp on PTOs. The LA Kings, Minnesota Wild, and San Jose Sharks all do not have anyone. The St. Louis Blues have forward Mike Hoffman, but again, this is similar to the Hammonic situation. There is a deal in place with Mike Hoffman. They just cannot sign it officially until they get their players going to LTIR, onto LTIR. That's Alex Steen and Vlad Tarasenko. So until they're placed on LTIR at the beginning of the season, Hoffman is in camp on a PTO. That's so he's allowed to attend training camp. And then once the season starts and LTIR goes into effect, Hoffman will sign a real contract. And the Vegas Golden Knights have nobody in camp on a PTO here. So that is what we are looking at for PTO players in NHL training camps right now. And, we'll see which of these guys get contracts. Again, some of them are signed to AHL deals already. They just have to get a PTO to be able to attend an NHL camp, but they'll be sent back to the AHL when their training camp is over. And some of them will probably earn contracts. Some of them will be released from their PTO at the end of camp, and that will just be it. They'll go to the free agency market. But those are guys who, as of right now, are in NHL camps on PTOs. So that's your list. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon, merchandise store, and donation link down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.